Hello again. This video is going to teach you how to set up a new WordPress site completely from scratch. Um, WordPress has changed a little bit since the last time I put something together, and so figured a new one would be very helpful, especially to people who are just starting out. So you need to have about 6 things. I'll have them listed, but let me go over them real quick. A professional email. This is something that you will end up using from here out. You don't want to use your campus email because once you graduate, it'll be gone. So get a professional email, first name, last name at Gmail or at Outlook is really good. You also want to have a professional photo. The reason when you'll want a professional photo is you want to make certain that you give a good first impression to those people who are coming to potentially hire you. Once your portfolio is built enough that you can end up getting a potential job. Thirdly, you're going to have a preferred username. This is good to have it across multiple platforms. Again, I recommend using your first and your last name as this is a professional website. You can use something else at different sites. I have many sites that have different versions of my name. Since I have so many about me, I'm going to make one about my stepdad. And that way I can end up finding a new domain because there's only so many ways you can do your name. Then you need to have a strong password. Um, for example, maybe nicknames of your friends using alternate spellings. I'll give you an example where it says Hal Red Wolf star. Use numbers instead of letters. So zeros instead of O's, threes instead of E's, fours instead of A's, ones instead of I's. I've even used fives instead of S's. For your domain name, that is your preferred name for the site title, use your first, middle, and last name. No spaces. Finally, you want to have a slogan. That is 1 to 4 words that are guiding you towards your future. So my example is persistence provides the key. I've also used different names, different sites that I've made. So, for example, aspiring communicator, whatever slogan that best suits you. So, Nike has a slogan, just do it. And we're trying to get you a slogan that will push you through your 4 years. So, don't get too cutesy, but something you feel as though is going to inspire you to continue to create this site, put up your materials, show the world that you're ready to join the professional ranks. When you come to WordPress.com, you'll see up in the top right-hand corner, there is a Get Started button. We're going to continue with email. We're going to enter the email. And again, I'm having to use different from what I've told you only because I've got so many sites and I've used so many different emails. So we would prefer that you use a Gmail with your name, but for the sake of doing this, I'm going to use something else. We're going to claim our space on the web. Do this D. Leroy is sitting. And we'll search the domains. They want us to give a renewal here and notice how they are trying to get you to pay. And that's cool. If you want to pay now, that would be nice. But I am not really interested in paying. So start free with the WordPress.com subdomain. We're going to start for free. There's a plan for you. And hey, thank you. We're going to start for free. As it lays the foundations, it comes to your dashboard. In your dashboard, it's going to set up your different sites. Right now, you have already chosen your plan. And I'm going to start out by going to settings. And in settings, we're going to name this site title. The tagline here is going to be keep pushing. Your site icon will end up choosing a photograph. Crop my image. I now have my site icon. I always have my week start on Monday. We will save those changes. Once those changes have been saved, then the next thing we will do is go to Appearance and go to Themes. In Themes, you want to pay for a theme, that's great. But at the moment, I'm going to look for free themes because I figure free is best. So they have us on a free at the moment. And notice how it's going to end up having a basic site. You can end up looking at some of these different ways that these things have been set up. I'm going to try to find something that's going to look kind of like a portfolios. This one looks interesting because I can have a big picture and I can have each one of my posts have smaller pictures. The general thing is find something that's going to work for you. Find something that's free. Find something that will be interesting. Let's see. We like free. I'm going to start with this. I'm going to activate it. Now that the theme is activated, you can view the site. And at the moment, it says, hey, hello, I'm Emily. Well, we're not Emily here. However, I want to go back to the dashboard. So I'm going to go into my pages. And right now, let's go ahead and edit the about page. I'm going to just turn this from about into bio. And then some information. This is where the information that you have on the directions will end up helping you figure out exactly what you want to start with. But for the moment, I just need something that's going to give me a placeholder until I can start building more. I'm going to go to the choose a block. Whenever I end up pushing my slash, it tells me, hey, I can get an image. I want to select an image that I already have. Well, we're going to upload another image here. Notice with your photograph, you can line it left, line it center, line it right. At the moment, I'm going to line right. And I'm going to push it up such that my text ends up wrapping. We have the beginnings of a bio. Now I'm going to go back to my pages. This is still, I like this thing because I do have a search bar. I have a bio. Let's see what else I can play with in order to change some things. My first post, the post. There it is. But I want to edit this page. So let's see if it will allow me to edit the page or if it just goes back to the post. It just goes back to the post. I don't really care for that. Hey, it's allowing me in. This is the sidebar. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to replace that picture by opening my media library. I will end up getting this photograph. There we go. At this point, I don't really want anybody to connect, but I will delete Pinterest. I will delete the Instagram. And I will edit this to, that's going to go to, save it. A lot of working with WordPress is playing. Come back and looking at the website. Hey world, let's connect. Now this ends up having, looks like an index at the bottom as well. It's telling us the name at the beginning, top and the bottom. Each one of your different templates is going to look different. You're going to need to adapt it to what we're looking for. The general idea is that first and foremost, you need to have a site where people can meet you on the front end. On this particular site, again, we could probably do that just by changing this information over here that they could get in enough of a bio to know what's going on and yet end up using the posts in order to show work. Now, we can do it that way. We can also make new pages. So if I go back to the dashboard, let's say I end up having a page, it's called Works. Publish that, publish that. And notice whenever I'm making a new page, it's immediately going into the bar across the top, which is really good. So um, again, I can go back to the bio. I can end up looking at Works. I can end up having my intro over here on the right-hand side. No matter which you choose, just make sure that your site ends up looking similar to sites that we have from students. I would suggest coming back to my teaching site. If you go to teaching and content creators, they'll bring you here. Look at some of these other sites that people who have graduated have made, and especially if they've gone on to win things. For example, Rachel Rudd is now over at Jonesboro right now. She was a award-winning editor when she was here. More, a little bit further back, but not too further back. Chase Gage, his side basically is giving a breakdown of who he is on the front, and then you get in, it's showing his resume, it's showing his sizzle reel from television stuff. He's showing some featured works that he's had when working for KIT, his undergraduate works as well. Well, this is some things that he did while here at A State. Sports work that he did. So notice many different things that he did with his. Um, Layla Cassiano, fix that. She's actually over at the Jonesboro Sun at the moment, showing her articles that she's done, links to them, different types. So she's got them broken down by category. Those are news articles. You can download what she did. Um, Life Arts Entertainment articles, showing work that opinion work, basically showing work that can show the writing that she has accomplished, which helped her land a good job. And also her resume. We'll show you one more. Brooke Bugner, THV, and but this was her reporter reel from back whenever she was still at, well, she had added in stuff from when she was on THV, but back whenever she was still a student, and then adding in some of her newer stuff from THV, showing her work, news packages. They gave a little bit of information and then contact information. So we're looking for you to put together yours. That is, this is what you're going to show the world. And so if we're showing the world, we want to put your best foot forward. We want to have the best material that you ended up having, were able to produce over the time that you were at A State. And then you'll end up having a great portfolio before it's all said and done. But to see what you can do, you've got to publish first. So let me show you how to do that as well. Going back to the dashboard, come back to settings. Under the reading settings, here we go. Your home page. We're going to go to the static. And your home page will switch to bio. And then your post page, we'll have to make one real quick. Going to go back to pages, add a page. We're just going to call this blog. We won't put anything on it. Went back to my reading settings. Again, the home page is now bio. The post page is going to say blog. And then I'm going to hit which site. And again, it's trying to make us go and purchase something, but I'm going to skip purchase and just keep it free. Keep it free. It's a site on my home. Hey, it's live. Okay. I'm going to look at the site again. Looking at this page, it has the bio on the front. It ends up having just at the top of the page, it has my bar that's going to have the material in it that we need. And then just to make sure that it's good, we'll end up going to a different browser. There it's it. You can see it. So we're good to go. So I'm looking forward to see what you come up with. If you have additional questions, please send me an email. Let me know exactly what I can do to help. We can set up time. I can actually work with you in Zoom or something similar in order to make sure that you can walk through this if you need the help. Please let me know. All right, until.